Let's
Hello,
see.
Aniket.
8 people are there. Hello, Pradnya. Guys, you can start posting your questions.
So today Aditya is also here. That's a good thing to see.
Yeah.
Start posting whatever questions you have. We already had a session a couple of days ago, but I think there were a lot of questions that day as well. So keep
Hello,
posting.
everyone.
Good
Lakshman,
evening.
Ananya, Pradnya, Abhishek.
$15 people. Let's wait for some more people. Also post your question, guys. Yeah, so we have a question here. Sridhar, you want to answer? Critical reasoning में accuracy कैसे increase करे?
So, critical reasoning, it is only practice. So, like Shrikant used to give sectional test for verbal, just do that. Give sectional test and see what the logic is being used in the solution if you get it wrong. So, that's the only way.
पूरा paper attempt नहीं हो पाता है. So you don't have to attempt the entire paper as
Yes, and the point is that you don't have to attempt the entire paper. 200 questions attempt करना possible ही नहीं है. And none of the toppers rank one, no one can attempt the entire paper. So that should not be your target. Your target is to maximize the score, not to attempt the entire paper. I think for all of us, attempts were around 160 to 170. So, I mean, even that should not be a target, but उतना ही हो पाता है maximum. Working in BPO's valid workings, definitely it's valid.
How to score 30 marks in verbal? So whenever someone asks me these questions, I just tell them the simple thing ki you can, target on 25 easiest questions out of the 50 in verbal. तो आप 25 questions कर दोगे, remaining 25 questions में 1/5 का probability में you can get 5 correct if you mark all the options as C. So figuring out which 25 questions to solve will help you a lot in verbal. And I think there are a lot of questions which you can solve in verbal. If you read a lot, you can solve the RCs. RCs में at first you don't have to solve the entire RCs also. Actually, you can solve the non-inference based kind of questions in RCs. Parajumbles maybe last year it was very easy. Fact-based questions, yeah. And apart from that, error, grammatical error, and match the column. 25 easiest questions you can touch. वो आप 100% accuracy से solve करो. Remaining 25 guess. That's how you reach 30 in verbal.
And in 25, 10 marks can be from RCs because 2 RCs are easy. In that, you can attempt the entire set, inference and fact-based. And whatever is the tougher RCs, in that you can attempt only the fact-based or the direct questions. So you don't read the RCs, you directly go to the questions, and this is for the tough RCs. So for the tough RCs specifically, go directly to the questions, whatever is direct or fact-based question in which summary or inference or what does the author mean by essay question नहीं direct है, just attempt those questions. So RC में essay you can get 10 to 12 marks. And apart from that, you have closure test, you have antonym synonym, which are very fast to solve. So try to attempt all these.
We have this question: what should be the main focus in the last lab considering the uncertain situation? By Aditi. So last lab focus should be only preparing from mocks. If you have completed your syllabus, given that you have gone through each and every concept, you have tried to understand each and every concept, it's for sure that you can't entirely have strengths in each and every sections, but at least you should try to, at least solve a 50 to 100 questions from each section and each concepts basically. And last mile preparation would be to focus on mocks, giving sectional tests, and trying to improve your scores and improving your weaker areas. You can't, keep on repeating your mistake. Like if I give a mock today, I score, let's say 120, and I want to aim to score 135. So I can't give a mock each and every day for like 5 days and keep on scoring 120 every day. So what is the difference? How do you improve from 120 135 is the detailed analysis. And when you say ki analysis, whenever someone says ki analysis kya karna hai, analysis kaise karna hai, so you have to go through each and every question and look ki the way which you solved while solving the paper in the exam, was it the best method which you can think of while solving, or is there any other shortcut also which you can think of and then solve that particular question? Because some questions have 2 to 3 different ways of solving. Let's say quadratic inequalities, for example. Normally quadratic inequalities का roots निकालने जाओगे b square minus 4ac वाला formula से, तो it will take so long. But then if you use the science convention wala trick, it will hardly take 10 to 15 seconds. So there are different shortcuts for each and every concept, so you have to go through each and every of them. And I'll suggest if you can go through our course, it will cover each and every of those shortcuts. So to improve your scores from 120 to 120 130 or 135, let's say, would be to figure out, are you solving each and every questions in the fastest way or not. Yeah.
Pratnya, so puzzles should be practiced in topic-wise section notes or from PDFs. So any source is fine. In PDFs, obviously, you have to give time by yourself. So in that way, I used to find topic-wise or section test easier because what time रहता था and it gives you average marks or some kind of percentile. So that way it's helpful for the timer and to compare with others. Otherwise, many of you might have also run out of sectional tests and also PDFs is also fine. There's no problem as such.
People are asking how to improve speed in DI. I'm able to get 10 to 11 marks in 15 minutes. And same question is for the puzzles as well. So I think if you solve a lot of puzzles, like 50 to 60, let's say, different sets, once you solve 50 to 60 different sets, then only you can, increase your speed. The only way to increase speed in DI is practice, because कितना ही averages, profit and loss and percentages में आप क्या क्या कर लोगे, मैक्स टू मैक्स आप at the least आपको कैलकुलेशन तो करना ही पड़ने वाला है. तो जितना ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना that will help in DI to increase your speed and in puzzles as well. So I suggest solve up to 50 to 60 puzzles and 50 to 60 DI sets to increase your speed. Once you do that, you'll see the improvement in your marks.
One thing that I think we should do is, Aditya, since you've not been on lives for a while, I think you should just explain your strategy that was there. Because Shrikant and I have been explaining our thing every time that has happened. So I think there'll be a nice change that is there with your puzzles thing that was there, because a lot of questions come about that.
Okay, so for puzzles, see, first thing you have to remember is, like I've said a number of times, that you don't have to solve all the puzzles. Puzzles is not the key to JBMS, or it is not mandatory to solve all puzzles. Having said that, there you have a lot of time. Exam date is still not out, so keep practicing puzzles. Now, puzzles as a section, whatever comes for 35, 40 marks, in that there will be 2 to 3 puzzles that are doable, easy to doable. And depending on your strength, obviously, for some there'll be 3 to 4. But 2 to 3 puzzles, I think a large number of CT aspirants should be able to solve, and you should practice enough that you are able to solve them. So if you are, say, weak at puzzles, just look at 2 to 3 puzzles in the puzzles part of LR and get the remaining marks from someone else. Now, for puzzles, it is all about practicing. Honestly, I did not have that much time or the patience to practice puzzles in depth, but it is all by practice. Because you get familiar with questions, you can easily make the diagram, you can easily make the table, you can start filling in information. It all comes with practice and familiarity. It is only that. Puzzles में और कुछ भी नहीं है. And Vidhan, I have taken the puzzles section in our course, and they have given a lot of strategies and tricks to approach puzzles, which pieces of information to put in the paper first, if it's a circular arrangement or a matrix arrangement. So which piece of information, which if there are persons, which person to fix first, how to make cases and so on. So that might really be helpful for those who are weak in puzzles. But I was weak in puzzles. I scored a good percentile. So one thing is for sure that you don't have to be scared of puzzles. Just target 2 to 3 puzzles and get marks from other strength areas. Puzzles is not do or die.
Although since you mentioned the course and there's a question on how to select puzzles, we have a dedicated video to this. Vidhan and I have made a video on this. I think it's around 20 minutes long, but it describes exactly what the parameters you should be looking at when you're solving a puzzle. So you're looking at your familiarity, how much you have practiced, what the question is asking, how many questions are there. There are lots of different variables that we've explained in that, how to go about. But in short, what I've explained, and I think I've explained in other videos of TTP as well. So if you go through our other videos, you'll find a lot of this content. But the main thing is just how familiar you are with it. There are these straightforward metrics that you can use to select puzzles. I think that one thing is extremely useful. इसमें वो एक बहुत होता है. What do you do when you're stuck in a puzzle? So इसमें one thing that we recommend is 3 minutes for a puzzle. Put 3 minutes into a puzzle. I think the number will vary, but basically 3 minutes. Attempt it as much as you can. If after 3 minutes you feel that you can solve it further, spend a couple more minutes and solve it. If after 3 minutes you are nowhere near a solution, do something else. It's just that relation to the time. 3 minutes ka you make 4 minutes, 3 minutes ka you make 2 minutes. That depends on how fast you are. So Shrikant, if you have anything to add on that, on the
And if puzzles is not just like that, I'd get puzzles at the end. So if you're giving 3 minutes or 4 minutes, that's unnecessary, keep it at the end so that other sections are covered. You've got all your marks that you can get from other sections, and then you have just puzzles to tackle. So हुआ तो भी ठीक है और नहीं हुआ तो भी say 130 or 140 marks are secured.
Right. I think last live, this is exactly what I'd explained, that you need that buffer in the end, that even if something goes wrong, you still have that time to rectify. Plus, I was good at puzzles. I used to enjoy solving puzzles. I used to enjoy spending time on puzzles as well. Yet it was my last section. I would be able to solve puzzles. Shrikant used to do it in the start because he was also good at puzzles, but he was confident in that way. So if you've not seen it, watch that earlier live. I think we've spent around 20 minutes discussing only this. Only talking about our strategy.
One thing which I touched upon was Kia, as Anna and Sridhar both have done puzzles at last. I also used to do puzzles at last, but my LR section was the first section. So in those 75 questions, I used to do puzzles later on. So I'd go through the traditional logic questions first, and then I'll figure out from 1 to 75. I'll go through all the traditional logic questions, and while going through those questions, I'll figure out ki there is a puzzle over here for 6 marks. Let's say from 6th question to 11th question, then from 15th to 20th. So while going through these questions, I'll just skip and just go through the difficulty level. Let's say if there is a blood relation puzzles with a circular thing in it, and then you have to define the blood relations also in that. So it's going to take a lot of time. So I know I'll choose this puzzle at the last, or attempt this puzzle at the last. Or let's say there is a simple puzzle of a square wherein 6 people are there, or a circle where only 8 people are there, all are facing in the same direction. So I know this puzzle would be easier than the blood relation puzzle. So I'll select this first and then do the blood relation, or attempt, if I have time later, then do that. So this is also one of the way to select easier puzzles at the first.
And as Shrikant was saying about selection and all, yeah, exactly, comes from practice and familiarity. You know, okay, this is tougher, this will take 4 minutes, this will take 6 minutes. You can make that decision then, but obviously comes with practice. If you have not solved enough, then you don't know इसमें इतना time जाएगा या उसमें इतना time जाएगा, और इसका difficulty कितना है, how complex it is, वो ही समझ में नहीं आएगा कि कितना difficult है. तो practice ही है, and like if you practice enough, then only you'll get the confidence to jump into a puzzle, because puzzles can be a trap. एक बार घुस गए, you're trying to solve 10 minutes, खत्म हो जाएगा, पता भी नहीं चलेगा. So it comes with practice, and if you practice enough, only you'll have the confidence to jump into puzzles, which I didn't have. That's why I used to keep it at the end and just try to solve 2 puzzles, which I also did in the CT. I could only solve 1.5 or 2 puzzles.
Yes, we have 73 people. If you can please like this video so all others can also get notification about it. Try to get 50 plus likes.
He's asking, what do you guys do before do a day before the exam? would you recommend solving a mock? So, I mean, we can just go through what each of us did. It varies from person to person, how much you practice before, etc. So, Shrikant, Ane, what did you do one day before the exam?
Firstly, hi Harsh. I just saw a message in the chat. Nice to see you here. So my mock schedule is completely like I've put it on the Telegram group in case anyone wants to go through how I prepared in the last week. I think we had the notification a month before. So if you want to see how my last month was, please open that note. Please open the mock sheet that I've shared. You'll be able to see all the scores that I have, how I've prepared everything that is there. But for me, the last day was basically, I think I'd taken a passive mock just to be in touch with solving, just to, just keep solving. I think last day I didn't take, second last day I took. Again, I myself will need to see that Excel to remember what I've done. But the main idea is stay in touch with something so you're solving constantly, so your brain is working on it. And the main thing that I did was go through the mocks where I scored well, go through the scores where I've done well. I'd written down this note for myself that I have scored this much in these many mocks. I've got this rank in this mock. Even if one mock I've got a top 10 rank or something like that, it would be something that would be mentioned in that, and it was something that I was drawing inspiration from. Plus, at the same time, as I mentioned in the CAT versus CET video, you need your motivation. You need to know what your motivation is. Is your motivation just to sit in the B school? It's not. It's usually sitting in the B school and getting a job that you want. So it's that entire process that is there. You need to know what your motivation is. If that is clear, उसमें कुछ problem नहीं होने वाला है. So that motivation has to be built, and that's what I've written down, that I want to do this for this reason, or what I was doing it for, what was coming next, things like that.
So yeah, for me, so before that, one day before exam, I don't think I have had given a mock. I had tried it last year, but then I think a week before the exam, you can give hardly 2 or 3 mocks. There could be some different reasons for some people who will give, a mock a day before the exam. But then my analogy was, or my ideology was to keep my mind as unoccupied as possible, because I wanted to be as fresh as possible while giving the exam. Though I was not giving a mock, but I was going through a lot of questions which I've solved in the previous mocks. I had highlighted few of the questions in previous mocks which I had done wrong or which I thought was important, and I should go through it once again. And also went through a lot of puzzles, maybe give some sectional test. But giving a mock a day before exam is completely your choice. If you think that you'll be fine next day, you are, not occupied a lot, your brain is free, then you can give it. But I thought the other way. I thought not giving a mock and then give 2 days before that. Yeah, and just
So mine
revising.
Guys, just
was
1 second.
different.
Aditya, just 1 second. Please don't spam the chat box that is there. We are reading your questions that are there. In case we've not answered anything, you can always ask on the next live or leave a comment. We are reading all of that as well, and we'll answer as soon as we can. So we will answer. Don't worry about that. We're here to help you. It's not any selective thing
Yeah.
we're doing, but don't
And
spam it. It becomes a
since the
little difficult to read.
exam is coming closer, we'll have frequent times, so don't worry about that. All the questions will
Yeah.
be answered. About one day before the exam for me, so I was working. I didn't get time throughout the year to give a lot of mocks, so I had taken 1 week's off from office to give mocks and get into the exam taking zone. So I had given a mock one day before the exam. My slot was on Sunday, so I had taken a mock in my time slot on Saturday so that I'm active during that time. Afternoon slot I had the first slot. So during that afternoon slot, I wanted to be active, so I given a mock one day before. And the whole week I was giving one mock each. So you can say that 1 week before the exam, I has to give one mock per day, just because I've not given enough mocks before because I was working. So it depends for everyone. Depends if you're working as a student, etc. If you get very stressed, uh, so if you get really stressed and anxious, probably not the best idea to give a mock, because in case the score is low, might decrease your confidence. That was not the case for me. मेरे को कम score भी आता तो भी I wouldn't care as much. I would still go with the same confidence. So I gave a mock, but it's a very personal decision, and both is fine. Giving a mock, not giving a mock, giving a passive mock, everything is okay. Know yourself well and take your call. In TTP, all 6 of us had different strategies, worked for everyone. We all made it to JV. So ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ही strategy काम आएगा. It is specific for everyone.
I think that's what I really like about TTV, that the first webinar also that we had contrasted everything so nicely, and everyone had different things for each and every answer. It wasn't like we were repeating the same thing. everyone had a different strategy, but again, the end goal, as I mentioned earlier, is the same. Plus, as Aditya mentioned, that demotivation happens on the last day after scoring a low mock, I think a low score in the last mock. I got around 120 or 108, 113. That was my last few mocks, but I didn't care about it. I didn't care because I knew I've scored higher before that. You have to keep that mentality in mind that, even if your last few mocks go bad, you've put in hours of effort. It's not just a fluke. It never is just a fluke. You've put in those hours. That's why you've got those scores consistently. So even if 1-2 marks go down, you have to keep your head above all this. That's one thing. And there's one more question. While attempting fluke, should we go for smart guess or same option? 2-word answer: smart guess. Never same option. I mean, same option is just in case you don't have anything to do. It has to be smart guess. Eliminate options. I think all of us have done that. You have to
Yeah,
learn
if
how to eliminate
you're
options.
smart guesses, obviously. If you have no idea, then blind flukes. जितने के लिए smart guess कर सकते हो कर लो, obviously.
And there are a lot of questions about I'm scoring X number. How do I increase? I'm scoring X number. Will I get into JB? See, there's no date that has come so far. So just assume you have time. Put in the most right now because there are people who have put in huge amounts of effort and are now lagging. You will get a head start if you just put in the effort right now. Just keep that in mind. And if you're someone who's already put in effort, keep at it because you will go ahead of the people who haven't. So just keep that one thing in mind. It's the last leg that is there. It is going to happen. These seats need to be filled eventually. So it is going to happen. You have to keep studying. If you put in the effort, be ready for it. And lots of questions about the score that is there. Analyze your mocks properly. Again, Shrikant and I have done in the live before this, I think 2 days ago. We explained very nicely how to analyze mocks, how we should improve marks. We have a mock analysis webinar, which is the most viewed on our YouTube channel with timestamps. So just go through all of that. The reason we keep saying go through our other videos is because everything is over there. And we are just repeating a lot of what comes here in different cases. Sometimes it's 100 marks at 120 caise jai, sometimes it's 120 se 140 caise jai. It's the same answer.
Answer is the same: score, stagnation, and
Practice.
how to break that and go forward. It's the same answer. You have to analyze, find your weak spots.
You
For
have to
this,
put in a
obviously,
lot of
short answer
efforts.
is mock analysis. You have to do a lot of coaching classes have very good analysis available. You know which question you're spending more time in and you're getting wrong. वो सब easily पता चल जाता है. In some classes you also get in which questions you're spending more time compared to others. So in that you definitely know that you're not using the best method available. And that is what the TTP course is about. Best method for each question type, for each section, and for the pros in that section. So it's not like I'm a pro at every section. I've just stuck to what I know best. Other people have stuck to what they know best, and that's how we've come up with this course. So if you feel that uh, a couple of sections this week you're spending more time in some topics, some sections, so do check out the course. You can see the feedback we've gotten from our students. Everyone has loved our course, have told us about their increase in scores. About, I think the average is 20% increase in scores, right, Anand?
28
We've
or
taken a poll
30%. That
and
is, again, assuming 100 and above is there.
Also,
yeah,
one more thing which I'd like to point out is a lot of people ask, the people who ask कि मेरा score 120 100 है 120 कैसे हो 130 कैसे हो. So the same thing I used to ask myself last year when I got 99.83. How will I get 99.96 or how will I get 99.99 next year? This was my question. And the answer to this was very, very simple because I used to think there is something secret, some secret sauce which these toppers are having. मतलब इनके पास कुछ तो है जो मेरे पास नहीं है. They are doing something different which I'm not doing. But the answer is they're doing nothing different. They're just focusing on how to improve their score each and every day, like each and every mock. So what happened was last year when I scored in CT 2019 attempt, while I scored 99.83, and the difference in the last attempt when I scored 99.96, the difference was I knew a lot of different methods to solve particular questions. Like few questions I used to solve, let's say time and work wale questions. I used to take 5 minutes to solve 3 questions or 2 questions. But then once I realized there are some other shortcuts also which you can use to solve this question within 15 to 20 seconds. So within 2 minutes, I was able to solve these 3 questions. So ऐसे ही three questions करके, if you solve even, if you learn 10 new shortcuts also, you can easily solve 30 new questions. So this is how you increase scores. And you can't, just look at a shortcut and हाँ ये shortcut देख लिया, कर लिया solve. You have to put in effort. So उसके लिए you have to solve a lot of questions either from PDFs, either from sectional tests, or either from mocks. So there is nothing secret which the toppers do. They only, learn different shortcuts, or because CET is a time game. You have only 150 minutes for 200 questions. The only way you will beat others is by doing questions quicker than the rest of the people are doing. The rest of the 1 lakh people are doing. That's the only way which, you can, go improve your score or get through the desired college. And you do that by learning new concepts, learning new shortcuts, strengthening your weaker areas, and strengthening your already strengthened areas as well.
Yeah, I think that strengthening the
So,
strong areas is really important, because it's like if you're getting it right, get it right in lesser time. For example, blood relation, direction sense, all these easier traditional logic that is there, to do it fast. Like I used to always in the CET King mocks and IMS mocks, you could always see how the top 10 percentile have, how much time they've done it in. In my analysis, I used to do it faster than them in a lie. So that is one thing where I always used to gain the delta. I used to gain delta over there. Then I had more time to spend on other things where I was slower. So like that, you have to focus and do this faster. There are a couple of really interesting questions from Shreya and Shubham. So
one popular question is IMS mock level. So last year it was tougher, not very sure how it is this year. But last
Actually,
year for sure it was tougher than the
they
CET.
I feel they try to cover each and every difficulty level. The first time, in the first few
Yeah.
mocks, the difficulty level is really high, because I know Anai score used to, increase in the later half of the preparation. So a lot of the people would give IMS mocks first and then feel बहुत hard, and then leave. But the later half mocks were comparatively easier than the first mocks. But you don't have, like I mentioned in the previous live video also, you don't have to, give a word कि ये hard puzzle है, ये easy puzzle. You have to think of it as कि मैं ये solve करना चाहता हूँ क्या? Can I solve this in the exam? Or should I solve in this exam, or should I leave the question? You don't have to
Yeah.
focus on the hard question. All
So
you have
to
to do
correct
is,
myself,
yeah.
to correct myself, last year's IMS mocks on average were tougher than last year's CET. But obviously, this year, what will it be in relation to the CET? We don't know. That's first. Secondly, whatever the mock is, बहुत difficult भी आए, your mindset only has to be इसमें maximum score कैसे लाना है.
The
It
point
can't
is
be
not to
कि
solve the
ये
hard
CET
questions
से
only.
tougher है, ये CET से tougher है, इतना tough CET आ नहीं सकता. This cannot be your mindset. Your mindset has to be अभी इसमें maximum score कैसे करूँ? अगर CET में ना tough paper आ गया, what will be my strategy? That is the only mindset you should have. And it cannot be IMS is tougher, चलेगा 100 आ रहा है तो चलेगा 110 आ रहा है तो चलेगा. At the end of the paper, you have to be like, हाँ मैंने score maximize किया है. I made the right decisions. मैंने tough questions छोड़े. I picked all the easy questions. I maximized my score. That is the objective.
right.
So just remember that.
Yeah, that's perfect. We had explained this exact same thing. This is exactly what you have to look at. Like if any takeaway, this is this exact sentence. Maximize your own score. That is what is there.
You
I
should
think
only focus on solving the easiest questions also. Like when
right.
people say कि mock hard है, तो hard questions करो ही मत. Easiest questions करो, and there are at least 120, 130 easy questions. Easy to moderate questions. Let's put it that way. Difficult questions करने ही नहीं है. There can't be 100 difficult questions in a mock. No way. If you feel there are 100 difficult questions in a mock, then you should revise your concept and learn new things, and then work hard and improve on that. Yeah.
मतलब in the rare possibility कि आ भी जाए 100 tough questions, make sure you solve 100 easy questions and in 100 minutes. Then you have 50 minutes, उसमें you solve 25 difficult questions, बाकी का तुक्का मार दिया. Still you should get 120, right, in a very tough paper. So that should be it.
Right. There's a couple of questions that I just wanted to we just finish off. If a new type of LR set comes, how should we solve it or not? Depends on your familiarity. Depends on how easy you think it is. You think about it for a minute or two. If you think you can do it, do it. If you don't, then don't. But again, if it's a set, it's for the second round. It's for the latter half of the time.
नया है तो keep it for the second round. Give it a minute. कुछ बन रहा है तो ठीक है. नहीं तो just skip it.
Same with the miscellaneous.
Others are very risky.
Yeah, even the miscellaneous question that you've never seen earlier. It is the same logic. Keep it for later. Be safe rather than be sorry that you regret the entire thing afterwards. It's like one question that one set. If you pick wrong and you do it in the start, that decides your entire fate. So
we are not saying don't solve it. Keep it for later. Give it a minute. See अगर you're making progress in that. If arrangement है या जो भी है, if you're making progress, बन रहा है steps बन रहा है cases बन रहा है, give it a minute. But in the second round, don't solve it at the start.
Right. A puzzle speed you can improve in 15 days. I think even in 5-6 days, if you solve every day, you'll be able to improve it. I think it's just practice that is there. I used to do, so someone's asked a question, I think they asked Aditya, did you solve 10 puzzles a day? I don't know if he did it, but I was doing 5 puzzles a day for at least a month coming up to the final exam. I was solving 5 puzzles a day, either through mocks or otherwise in sectional tests that Aditya mentioned, or you can Google PDFs for CET. Someone asked that also, where do you find puzzles? So if you just Google CET, IVPS, puzzles and everything, you'll get a lot of content. You can buy sectional tests. There are a lot of material. बहुत ही है वहाँ पे. There's a lot of material that if you just look for it, you'll find a lot of it. It's just about your efforts to put it in. It's just practice that is required. And input output. I've made a video on the course, and people have liked it a
Input
lot.
output is the most highly rated video of our course,
Course,
hands
yes.
down. So
It is a
all our
very good
students talk
strategy.
about
Yeah, I think
it.
we've
It
got the
is
most reviews about
definitely a
that.
game changer.
But
I
I'll just
blindly left input output in the CT. Had I watched the video, I would have probably attempted and beaten Ankit.
Nice.
right. But that's what it's still about your strengths. If you're strong in input output, take it. If you're not, these people have still made it to where they are. So keep that in mind. Like it's about what your strengths are and what you do. We just go through a couple more questions if there's anything. Guys, just please, if we've not answered your questions and you really want an answer, please drop it in the comments. We do go through everything that is there. Whatever we are able to answer, we will.
There's one question written that did you used to write down conditions of puzzles first and then start arranging directly? So I'll try to attempt this question. So basically, while solving puzzles in the first fewer mocks, let's say the first 10 mocks, I used to write down each and every point and each and every condition, and then used to see if I can apply it in the different cases. So let's say there is a face-to-face seating arrangement wala questions wherein people are facing each other. So there are 3 to 4 cases, and I'll write down all the condition, and then I'll look at कि कौन से case में जाएगा. So I used to do this in the first few marks, and then I realized कि इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा time जा रहा है. It's taking around 10 to 15 minutes. So what I'll do in the next time is I'll just go through my rough sheets and see what all the conditions I have written and what all conditions I have used while solving the paper, and what all are the redundant conditions which I have written. Once you go through this, you'll realize that if you start your puzzle with the most the people with the most data, the person with the most data, let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So if you have most data about G or H, so if you start with that and then write conditions uske baad mein, then the conditions will also reduce and the redundancy will also reduce. So doing rough work analysis helps a lot in this case, I feel. Yeah, you guys want to answer how to do this? How to reduce puzzles? How did you write down the conditions first or start arranging directly?
No, I didn't. I would just start off and make cases and cancel cases as soon as I can. One thing you have to remember in puzzles: don't be lazy. Make cases, cancel. Make cases, cancel. Don't be lazy. Finish it off. Be a athlete who is Usain Bolt running through a sprint. Just finish it off. Don't keep thinking in your head. Just write it on paper. Finish it off. In puzzles, you can use extra paper if you want. Otherwise, try to reduce the paper. Or Pradnya has asked the question, did you try any mock with no section time limit? I had. If you see my mock analysis sheet on the right side, mock sheet that is there on the right side, I've written down what strategy I'd used. In that, there are a few where I've just done round robin without time limits. It was not productive for me because in quants I used to end up taking a huge amount of time. Every other section was fine, but verbal and quant I would spend a huge amount of time. So I used to keep section limits, but my section limit used to be a flexible section limit. So there used to be a couple, like even if I've said 30 minutes, I would go to 35 in case the questions were easy. It wasn't the 30 minutes. I'm at question 30, finish it off. But I would aim to go through the 50 questions in 30 minutes, then decide whether I can do more or not. So I used to browse through the 50 questions in that much time, and then go ahead. Yeah, so we'll take another question, and you guys can leave all the questions that you have in the comments. We will answer whatever is there. Thank you for all the support, guys. We really appreciate it. Guys, if you want to take any other question. I think Harsh has been answering most of the questions that we have.
Yeah.
So he's been doing a great job. Thank you, Harsh. Should I focus on CET or CAT now? Sorry.
Okay, yeah, let's take that as the last question.
I think that's
CET or CAT, so everyone can Give
Aditya,
their
go for it.
views.
I'll take the last one because I already made a
Okay,
video on this.
so like whatever each one of us says is our personal opinion, and it is what we would do if we were in your position this year. So if I was a student and I was attempting CET for JBMS, JBIMS was my dream college. Out of all colleges, it was my obsession. So CET would still be my first priority for sure. But it is late. We still don't know when the date is going to be out. So I would be preparing for CAT also. So at this situation, I think it'd be wise to not put all your eggs in one basket and to prepare for multiple exams. But give CET the priority, give 2 to 3 mocks a week. Apart from that, you can give CAT. And I mean, if you're practicing logical reasoning, if you're practicing verbal, if you're reading RCs for CAT for CET, is going to help in the other exam anyway. So it is just fine tuning your strategy for the CAT sectional sectional flow and for the CET sectional flow. So I would say give all the like prepare for all the exams. Uh, CET priority if JBMS is your dream college, but I would give CAT. See what scores I've gotten in both. If say I've not scored well in CET, if I'm getting say an IM, I would take an IM rather than waiting for a year. So
Actually, there is a similar kind of dilemma each and every year while people who attempt IFT and CAT, because the exams are only 1 week apart from each other. So you have to think of it as in the same way. And even NMAT for that example, CAT, NMAT, IFT, SNAP, let's say, ZAT, all exams are very close to each other. So you have to focus on which exam or which college you are targeting, and then depending upon your priority you go through that ki हाँ ये वाला exam के लिए इतना time देना है, because there is also a lot of difference in the level of CAT exam and IFT exam. So think of it as in the same way. Don't think कि exam delay हो गया इसके लिए मैं CAT पे focus नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. That should not be your idea right now. Your focus should be, yeah, I have an exam to target. I'm not sure when the date is going to be, but then yeah, I have to prepare for it. And so if I have improved, let's say, my CAT preparation, I can't wait till the date announces and then I start preparing for my CET, right? I'll prepare now itself. If I'm touching 130, 140, 125, etc., I'm satisfied with my score, then I'll start preparing for CAT. But if I'm not satisfied with my CET scores only, how can I, start from scratch for CAT again? You have to prioritize which thing particularly you have to, and if you want to focus on both, you don't want to miss out on both of these, then you have to divide your time properly ki scat ke liye itna time per day I'll give, CET ke liye itna time per day I'll give, and then you go about it. Yeah, Anay, what do I have?
Guys, just one thing. Since I'm seeing a lot of questions being added right now, can you just copy paste and add these in the comments on the live once the live video ends? We will answer all of them in the chat. Right now, since we are short on time, we will do a live session again. But if you really want it answered, please just copy paste it and keep it. Just comment it. We will answer it as soon as we can. Don't worry about
after
that.
the live, just commented.
Yeah, we'll answer it. We are not here to run away or anything. But basically, about the CAT CET thing that is there, I have a very different story over here. I took CET first. Then when when the admission was getting delayed because of the government and because of DT, I decided to take CAT and try my luck on how it was going and seeing how that happens. I got a 99.86 percentile in CAT, but since my academics were lower, I did not get a call from ABC. So after that, I didn't want to do it. I got it from FMS and Excel, but I didn't. I thought that JB is better than that for finance. But the point I'm trying to make over here is know your academics, know what weightage the colleges are going to take, know what your aim is. If you know you want to do finance, then there is a specific list of colleges that you'll be trying, because you know the job that is going to come to that college. You kind of have an idea of what is happening. Look on LinkedIn, check out what the job is later on, find out what it is. And as Aditya said, he knew he wanted JB. I knew I wanted JB in the start. So that's how things go. So for me, it was JB first always. Then IIM Calcutta was still something, because there are 400 people there. I still preferred 100 people here. So, it's 120, 130 people that are over here, 150, I'm not exactly sure. But that choice has to be made as to where you think you are going to do better, what your admission criteria is better. It's not about taking the exam. It's not about preparing for the exam as well. You will prepare for any exam that is there. Whatever the difficulty, वो तो हो जाएगा. वो syllabus पढ़ लेंगे, as आदित्य said. वो CAT पढ़ लिया, CET हो जाएगा. CET पढ़ लिया, CAT का भी हो जाता है, because you are used to solving faster. If you're scoring good in CET mocks, I know you'll be able to solve CAT questions as well faster, because that's what I did. I was able to use the tricks that I used in CET for CAT. So it goes in that way. Once you're solving questions, you'll be able to do everything, but know what you want. Know what you want to do later. I've mentioned in the video that we made on the TTV channel as well. Know which specialization you want to take. At least have an idea about it, about what you want to do. And I know it's very early right now. A lot of you will not have even thought about all this, but I'm just saying, start thinking. Start keeping some idea about it. If you wait for the first summers, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying anyone's in the wrong spot if they don't, but just keep some idea. It makes the decision making easier for now. At least because in this case, it's a very weird situation. If it wasn't so weird, it's perfectly fine. But in this situation, think about it.
But since we also gave different exams, I mean, first priority was JB, but in case the exam day doesn't go according to how you want it to go, or you make some blunders, you don't get JB, so on and so forth, you will have some backup. So we all gave different exams, we gave NMAT, CAT, etc. So, I mean, don't rule out CAT, do prepare for it. Maybe not now, maybe if the exam dates are not coming in a week or maybe 2 weeks, keep it in mind. Don't be only focused on CET is what I would say, because we all six of us gave other exams. We had our backups. So don't rely on just one option, because CET is unpredictable with no negative marking, with flukes, so on and so forth.
And it's one mark that makes a difference. It's literally 1 mark that can make a difference to your seat, whether it happens or not. And Ankit, as he had explained in our first webinar, he had this entire thing happen where he was in JB for 4 days, then they changed the criteria and he wasn't in JB after that. So, but he studied again, got rank 2. But he had to work for a year, like he had to leave everything for a year and then come back. So, it's 2 marks that make the entire difference. And about the CAT course that someone has asked, for CAT, I think it's a completely different. For CET, since we are focusing more on approaches, we were able to do this. For CAT, let's see, we might look into making a CAT course, but I don't think that'll happen for this year. It is way too late to start off, and it's just a couple of months away. So we might do it for next year. Let's see. But we'll keep our options open. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm glad someone wants it at least. But yeah, if any other queries, please reach out to us on Instagram. Our ID is the_top_percentile. If you don't have Instagram, you can message us on Facebook, LinkedIn. You can email us the_top_percentile99@gmail.com. The description of any other video, any video that we made, you find all the details to contact us, what the course is, how to join a Telegram group. On our Instagram page, you have all the links. So just, how to reach out to us. Reach out to us, leave the comments. Main thing, I have seen a lot of questions that we have not answered. So please leave comments. We will answer them. We are here to help. We are not here to run away and stop sessions like this. But since we don't have time, we are doing this. But please drop your comments. We will answer them whenever we can. We've answered questions at 2, 3 a.m. in the night. We will do that. So please drop your questions. We will answer. So thank you, Aditya.
Yeah, please subscribe also, guys. We hit 3,000 subscribers. So thanks for that. Thanks for supporting us. Yeah, get connected to us on YouTube, subscribe. We have a Telegram group. We share some resources there. We also inform when we're coming live. So join us on Telegram, on Instagram, so that you know when we are going to be coming and meeting you, answering your questions. Do get connected with us. Again, all the best. Keep working hard. Definitely a difficult situation to be in with so much uncertainty. Even we've not gone through it, but we get where you guys are coming from, what situation you are in. We talk to our students all the time, resolving their doubts and their apprehensions. But just keep working hard. It will all work out. Uh, no matter what happens, 150 of y'all will be in JB. So just remember that. No matter what, 150 of y'all will be in JB. And even ours was delayed, but 150 of us got to JB. So do just remember that, keep working hard.
And once you're in, it's a different thing altogether. Like the way people look at you, the way people talk to you, trust me, it's a very different thing. So just keep that going. Keep the hard work. Shrikant, any last words?
Yeah, just keep working hard. See you soon, guys, in JB. Just keep working hard and, solve as many mocks as possible, and remember this one thing: there is no secret sauce for success for JB. You just have to work hard. You just have to keep your mind clear and not think about someone is doing something else apart from me, कुछ अलग कर रहा है, कुछ secret नहीं है. Just hard work and effort and consistency. These are the only thing which matters. And don't think about the exam dates as such. Think about how to improve your score. Did you reach your target score or not? उसके बारे में तुमको सोचना चाहिए, rather than exam date कब आएगा, exam कब होगा, नहीं होगा. Exam is going to happen. College is going to start. Our college started late, but I think anyway college to start होने ही वाला है. It's not like कि एक साल पूरा गायब हो जाने वाला है. That's not going to happen, not at all. College is going to start, exam is going to happen. We just have to focus कि तुमने score reach किया है कि नहीं, and we are there to help you. You can, you know, as mentioned by Sridhar and Anay, you can reach out to us on YouTube, comment sections, or LinkedIn or Insta. Connect with us. We'll solve your doubts. And yeah, just keep working hard. All the best.
Yeah, and video requests, please leave them in the comments. Questions, video requests, everything that is there, leave them in the comments. We'll work on that. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for
Thank
attending.
you.
It's been a nice live session. Thank you, Aditya, Harsh, and Shrikant. It's been
Yeah.
really good.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.